Well, hello, boys and girls, fellow Patreon members and YouTube followers. This is B Pow. This is Boric, Joe Boric, and I am Pow, Pearls of Wisdom. And we're coming to you after a kind of a down day yesterday. Actually, I posted some ball picks, but they were like really loose and don't bet on them and stuff like that. But we did get our Vegas, was it Vegas pick yesterday over the Dallas Stars. They Vegas looked a lot more like they were supposed to yesterday, but for the most part, didn't put too many picks out yesterday. Today, on the other hand, we're looking at a lot of picks. If you don't know who we are a betting group, and we help people cap games, make money for themselves, and that's what we'll be doing today. We got some baseball picks, we got a hockey pick. So let's get started here, B. Oh, thank you, by the way, for all the subscriptions and the following and the hitting of the like button. We love you guys for that. It helps out the algorithm, kicks it in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for doing that. Okay, let's start out with Marlins over Braves you got so far, or Marlins versus Braves. Which one do you have? I guess I just gave it to everybody.
Marlins over Marlins over Braves. Because the Braves have Tommy Malone pitching, who looked okay in Baltimore before he got traded, but then he got shellacked as soon as he got to Atlanta. And he's just not really that good of a. He's just a guy that tries to finesse you, throws very soft strikes. So if you can't hit the corners, you're probably going to kill him. And the Marlins obviously have been a more productive team than people thought this year, also, especially offensively. So Lopez has a very good whip. He only gives up about a hit an inning. So I think he's going to continue to pitch well, and that's going to put them over the top in that game.
I think that's a good play. You got getting nice juice on that. Pretty good spot. The Braves have been rolling pretty good. It could be tight, but if you're going to be, even if it's close to 50-50, you're still getting pretty darn good juice on your coin flip. So I like it. Mariners versus Giants. You got to play on that one.
Yeah, I did the over, which that one's not really much. Well, Tyler Anderson's struggling, so he's kind of based off of the pitching matchup. Margavinkus is actually pretty solid, but that's more off of just how the Giants are rolling and cruising right now in general, where they're just hot. They're 7-3. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and their offense has been very good. And they came back in their last game, so they keep finding any way possible to win. I just think their offense is still going to be too much. They also have guys that can hit lefties really well. And even though Margavinkus is pitching well, he is a lefty. So I don't think that's the best matchup for him going up against a Giants team that has hitters that are literally just role players to destroy left-handers. So that's probably not the best matchup for him. That's why I think the Giants are going to be able to get the over in that one.
Yeah, the Giants have been playing with some really good energy, very driven. Um, I've watched a couple of them, and they're having a lot of fun out there. They're pretty loose. Looks like the
They have
managers
the
got them
personality
playing
of
pretty.
their manager. Yeah, they have the personality of Gabe. Like everybody seems to have the personality of Gabe Kapler, where he's serious when he's supposed to be serious, but most of the time he's kind of loose and free, like 90% of the time. So,
Yeah, which bodes well for hitters.
yeah, yeah, you
That's
don't
the
want to
way.
be tight as a hitter. You have to be loose and free. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Believe in yourself. Yeah, I like it. Um, Here's a kind of a simple play, I suppose. Dodgers versus Diamondbacks. We actually might have a couple plays here. What are you looking at that one?
Yeah. Well, for that one we did to the public, we gave out the ML because that's a pretty obvious one. The Dodgers should continue to cruise over the Diamondback. And then the under is a good play for that one because you got Taylor Clark, who pitched well in 9 games so far. And then Clayton Kershaw's pitching like a Cy Young caliber candidate again. So that's a good characteristic to have that game be an under because both pitchers are pitching, only giving up about, well, Kershaw's less than a hit per inning. And then Clark's a little bit over a hit per inning. So I think they're going to win that game, but they're also going to get the under due to the pitching matchup.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see that you're getting more juice on the under in this game. I think it's worth the shot for
I don't
sure.
think bettors trust Taylor Clark. That's why. Even though he has the numbers, like I said, he's still an unknown commodity. And
Right.
normally big betting sites don't trust unknown commodities.
Yeah, especially going up against
One of
a
the best of
Dodgers
all.
lineup that's batting 250 just about every single batter.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
But he's also facing one of the best pitchers of our generation. So that could factor into it a little bit too.
yeah, but even
But
if
I
he does have a bad game, there's a pretty good chance that Kershaw is only going to be limiting them to maybe a run or two. So
yeah,
Dodgers are going to have to light him up pretty good. So that's pretty. Yeah, I like that play for sure. Uh, um, so next, okay, Padres. We got lots of games here. Padres over Rockies ML seems like it's a pretty straight play.
yeah, the Padres again. They're a team that's just been cruising. They're playing really well. Their offense is playing really well. Their defense is playing very well. Basically, their whole team is playing very well. And they got Zach Davies, who's been one of the biggest surprise pitchers in baseball this year. That's just looked really good. He's been a solid pitcher. He had a career 3.79 his entire career. This year he's 6-2 with a 2.23 and a 9.93 walks per hits per innings pitch. So, yeah, I would say the Padres are going to win that game. Sanzatello is a good pitcher, but the Padres outmatch the Rockies when it comes down to the end of ball games. So that's gonna make them win that game, I think. And then first of all, Zach Davies is going to limit them. So if the Padres can jump on Sanzatello, Davies doesn't normally give up more than, like I said, 2 per game. So
Yeah, that it's a yeah, it's a pretty solid play. I have liked the way the Rockies have been playing this season. They have been gutting out a lot of wins, but pretty tough pretty tough pitching matchup on
yeah,
this
I
one.
picked the Rockies a decent amount too. It's just this game I don't think they match up well at all.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
wouldn't pick them in this. That's why I went Padres. I picked the Rockies for people sometimes, but not this time.
Then we got an interesting play, which shouldn't be an interesting play this year. It's been all the talk in the land, but we got Jays and Yankees coming up on this card.
Yeah, even though Roark's pitching, who obviously hasn't been as peachy keen as everybody in Toronto hoped he would be, but he can still give you some innings. Hopefully, he can kind of have a better start and start kind of balancing out as the stretch comes down. Otherwise, you're probably gonna have to just put in a young guy over him in the playoffs. But if he can start balancing it out and doing stuff, I think they'll get the win. But the other side of it is the Yankees have so many injuries; they're not scoring that much. The Jays could easily win this game 7-5, 8-9, 9-8. Like their offense is doing really good. That
Yeah.
I think they're finding ways to win every game. I think they're just figured out. They could probably win 15-14 if they had to with the way this team's playing. So, I mean, that's why I just like the Jays. I just think they're a really confident bunch. They have that young energy too that can never be stopped until usually the postseason. The only time you usually stop that young energy is when they have no postseason experience, and then somebody catches them then. But that's not for a while. That's not for 3 weeks still. So right now, I think they're going to keep cruising, and they're probably going to be one of the better teams entering, and then we'll see where their youngness can take them in the playoffs with really little to no experience.
Yeah,
But
this is a team that's also taking on the personality of its manager too. Well,
exactly,
yeah, yeah,
Montoya, he's a very good manager. He'll be up there for manager of the year if they keep doing this.
yeah. He's been. I liked him a lot. I think he's fantastic. I've
He's
liked him.
great at managing a pitching staff. He can
Yeah,
have a bunch of people that have no idea what they're doing on the mound, and he'll be like, "Okay, you face this guy, you face this guy, put him over there," and somehow they look half decent. Like
yeah,
they have like a career 17 ERA, and then he'll somehow make them look half decent. It's like, oh, how do you do that?
yeah, yeah. That's what great managers do.
Yeah,
They get the best out of every guy that they have, and he certainly seems to be doing that in Toronto, which is good for me being a Jays fan. Uh, so that's our ball picks. Now we'll get into the one hockey pick we have, and I'll be talking more on here because hockey is really my.
did you want me to explain the one basketball pick real quick that I put in?
Oh, right, sure. Yeah, I forgot to write down that basketball pick. Let's do the basketball pick first, sure.
Okay, I think the series has just seemed very back and forth, so I don't think that's going to stop in the Raptors and Celtics. So I believe the Raptors will figure out a way to win Game 6, And then game 7, as we all know, well, as all basketball fans know, with Brad Stevens, he just screws with you and changes the system a bit and then revert it back. So you have no idea what the hell's going on. So in game 7, they're not going to win, I don't think. But in game 6, I think they're forced a game 7. I'm pretty confident in that, like 99% confident they would do that. So that's why I figured I'll put that in. This series has just seemed like one that's going to go to 7. So I think that's a pretty good play there because you make some good bucks on that because the Raptors are obviously not favored. So